What's going on, guys? Welcome to your 42nd tutorial, 43rd tutorial for Java. And what we're going to learn about today is, some more basic stuff. As you can see, I'm out of the graphic user interface stuff for right now. We'll jump back into that later, but someone emailed me. They want to know what abstraction is and also go over polymorphism a little bit more in detail. So I decided I should do that quickly because it's more of the basic stuff that most of you guys will be learning in a college course or high school course. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about abstraction first. Basically, abstraction or abstract class or abstract method, what they're going to do is pretty much the same thing as a regular method except a little bit more restrictions. And I'll show you what I mean by that here in a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up an abstract class. So when we create a new class, we're going to check this down here, abstract, and that's going to make it an abstract class. And then also what we're going to do is we're just going to say a car. So we're going to hit OK, and as you can see, we have a public abstract class. Now within the abstract class, we can set up our constructor as well. So we can hit Control Space, Enter, and that's our default constructor. So what we're going to do within the default constructor is just the system printout. So we're just going to print something. We're just going to print actually and make it simple. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to try to create a car object and have it print to the screen. So I'm going to go back to our starting point class where we have our public static void main method here, and we're going to try and create a new car object. So as always, we'll just say the variable type. We're going to call this C. We're going to set this equal to a new car. And the first thing that you notice is we get an error because we aren't allowed to initiate abstract classes. And initiate is what we're trying to do here. Creating with abstract classes, you're not allowed to do that. And you're like, okay, well then what's the point of this car class? What's going to do is it's going to allow us to handle some certain methods that we want every type of car to have. So let's create a new class real quick. We're going to say, new class. We're going to call this one Toyota or something like that, a Toyota car. And within here, what we want to do is we want to say extends car. So all we're doing is we're saying, hey, we're creating an object. It's going to be a little bit more specific than our superclass, which is car. So car can have some, default car methods, default stuff within there, and then Toyota is going to be a little bit more specific. So now when we save this, what we can do is we can go back to our starting point class and we can say we want to create a new Toyota. I'm going to call it T, and then just new Toyota. And let's save everything, run it, and as you can see down here, we get our print statement because what it's doing is creating a new Toyota object, which is basically like a car object because we'll access the constructor of that abstract class and all that stuff, but we can't initiate it by calling a car C equals new car. There's other things that we can do with an abstract class, like set up some methods, like public double miles per gallon, and this takes in two doubles as well, such as like doubles miles or double mile and double gallons. And all we're going to do is we're going to return a double. So we're just going to say return whatever our miles are divided by our gallons. So obviously, like, this method is going to apply to all cars because they all go a certain amount of miles over a certain amount of gallons. The miles per gallon. So this method is going to be accessible to all of our cars, whether it be Toyota, Ford, whatever. So within our Toyota class, what we can do is we can set up a new constructor. So now within our constructor, we can set up a double MPG or miles per gallon for Toyota, and we can set this equal to our MPG method from our car class, and we can pass in a few parameters like 60.4 miles or 60.3 miles, and it took us 1.8 gallons or 1.9 gallons, and now that's going to return whatever 60.3 divided by 1.9 is from our car class. So we can still use methods from our car class as long as, again, our class is extending it, extending the abstract class. We can use the methods from the car class. So that's kind of the basic concept of abstract classes. In the next tutorial, I'll talk about some of the unique features of abstract class methods is what we're actually going to get into. So make sure you check that out. And again, thanks guys for watching. Thanks for subscribing and sharing these videos, because the more you share them, the more views we get, and we're trying to get onto like the YouTube EDU site for like education and stuff. So Again, thanks for all the help that you guys do, and I'll catch you in the next tutorial. Thanks again. Have a good one.